Administration is taking shape as the president-elect continues to announce his cabinet picks. This afternoon, he nominated Doug Burgum, the governor of North Dakota, to be the next Secretary of the Interior. But there is fallout from Trump's more controversial picks, from vocal vaccine skeptic Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as the head of the Department of Health and Human Services, and Matt Gaetz for Attorney General. Gaetz was the subject of a bipartisan House Ethics Committee review. That committee was looking into allegations of sexual misconduct against Gaetz, allegations he denies. Now, senators on both sides of the aisle are pushing for the results of that investigation to be released. John Croman spoke to Republicans and Democratic leaders in Minnesota about these cabinet nominees. John?
Well, you know, Republicans are pretty much on board with all of these nominees, while admitting that President-elect Trump is definitely thinking outside the Beltway box. And as you'd expect, Democrats are perplexed.
Matt Gaetz is a change agent.
House Majority Whip Tom Emmer of Minnesota is defending the Trump pick that's getting the most attention, former Republican Congressman Matt Gaetz, as Attorney General.
Matt Gaetz was investigated by the Department of Justice, the FBI. Guess what? There was no evidence to charge him with a criminal activity, so they closed their file.
Same for RFK Jr., Health and Human Services.
What it shows, John, is President Trump he's doing exactly what he campaigned on, to bring these people in who are not going to continue to do the same old, same old.
Senator Tina Smith says Gaetz will get the most scrutiny of all of Trump's picks so far.
This is the chief law enforcement officer for the entire country. Their job is to enforce the law, and yet it seems as if he was chosen primarily because of his personal loyalty to the president.
The president-elect is pulling two governors from neighboring states, Kristi Noem of South Dakota and Doug Burgum of North Dakota for his cabinet, and Minnesota native Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense.
This is a huge agency. It is responsible for our country's national security and keeping people safe, and yet he has virtually no experience in doing that job.
People want to try and downplay the fact that he's just a Fox News host, or that's what he's been. No, he's a decorated combat veteran.
Minnesota's Republican Party Chair David Hand says he trusts the vetting process in the U.S. Senate and that a new president should have discretion to go with who he likes.
I think people in many cases voted for that when they voted for him, and it was no question a historic election, in many ways a kind of a realignment. So I'm willing at this point to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Now, David Hand's DFL counterpart, the party chair Ken Martin, today called on our congressional delegation to insist that the Matt Gaetz ethics investigation file be released. Republicans agree with House Majority Leader Johnson that it should not be released, and now especially that Gaetz is out of Congress. Back to you.